from Toledo, Ohio, DeAndre, the Axeman Ware. He is the reigning NABO Super Middleweight champion, fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, Steven Nelson.
Steven Nelson entered the fight carrying the momentum of an undefeated run, confident that his power, athleticism, and improving ring craft made him one of the division's most dangerous emerging threats.
Oh boy, a nice 1-2, and down goes Riojas for the second time in round 4.
With every win strengthening his belief and opening doors toward world-ranked opponents, Nelson stepped in prepared to make a statement under bright Vegas lights. For him, this fight was not just another checkmark. It was the moment to show the super middleweight division that a new contender was rising fast.
Man, I believe right now that he's ready to face a top contender and possibly fight for a world championship.
DeAndre Ware, we told you, the full-time firefighter. Works 24-hour shifts, gets up so early to get in his road work. Right hands that time that Nelson timed as both men opened up.
Like Ware right now, Tess is looking to counterpunch. Waiting, he's looking to counterpunch Nelson.
As many fighters who fight in the bubble have, Ware is coming off a career-long layoff last August 23rd against Vladimir Shishkin.
Well, he said he ran about 8 miles. You know, he slowly built up to it. Good body shot right there.
And that one effective right hand that highlighted that first round, hitting the canvas after that right hand.
You know what? It was actually a right with a right. And you see where he throws his right hand, but he keeps his head right on the line.
You showed him everything now. It's you. Work that jab. Beat first.
One thing to note about Nelson is that he got a 75-inch reach.
Being better than what he looks like sometimes at first glance. It's the small movements. It's they may set up a Sports Center top 10. They'll get him in position to land the shots that he needs to land and pile up points and get.
To piggyback on that, Dre, you gotta know what you want to do first. You know, you want to stay calm to be able to see it. Might drop that feint. He's expecting it. And make him pay and hurt him and get him up out of there.
There's some blood coming down the left side of the face of Steven Nelson. You can see it.
Ware's just not throwing enough punches. Nelson's right in front of him. He just got to let his hands go. He got to believe in himself.
So Steven Nelson was supposed to be the fighter that was boxing, and DeAndre Ware was supposed to be pressing forward. And DeAndre Ware's got to shake off the nerves and get going, like you said, Tim.
They lose. They can't function. Sometimes that has to do with skill and ability. Anybody, especially a fighter.
First, and once you got him, once you start pushing,
you can tell him when you're over there. Okay.
That's the clash of heads that opens up that cut. Jane Nady was confirmed when you watched him go back to that corner.
Accidental headbutt, that was confirmed, and from the looks of it, Levi Smith was working the cut. It'd be a big deal.
Should not compromise his vision in that left eye, as Nady will now have a 35-26 connect advantage.
That was low.
No, Tim, I'm not ready to fight. It's still early. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 rounds. I've been there in some of my biggest fights where he's a fighter, but he's more a fighter of reaction and will and skill. You see him slowly starting to get going in this 3rd round.
He's slowly starting to get going because guess what? He sees blood. And when the fighter sees blood, he's like a bull.
Good thing for Steven Nelson that the cut is in the right spot, if there is such a thing. It's on the side. It gets worse. It's not going to bleed into the eye. But these are things as a young fighter you gotta overcome because you're going to have to learn how to face adversity and get through it. He's facing a little bit of adversity right now.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
Steven Nelson is doing the right thing. He's not pawing at the blood around his eye. He doesn't seem to be bothered.
Well, the biggest issue right now that I'm having with Warre is he's not using his jab. Ware's just standing right in front, not shooting a jab. Nice combination right there by him. Every time he works his hand, he has success, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect world this fight takes place at the Edinburgh Castle.
Decision victory against Victor Postol. It was a majority decision. Scores were 1-14. Know what it's like when he fights back home. 14, 15,000, all the family riding that wave of support out of Jose Ramirez. That of all the fighters we've seen so far in the bubble, it was the unified champion who was most impacted.
Victor Postol. And then the other aspect of it was you have a fighter who is, had multiple delays with his fight with Victor Postol. You start to get stale. I don't care how the normal 8-week period without the delays, I think he would have been a little sharper. And to that point, Joe, if you read the bio, as long as Jose Ramirez was, because he's an older fighter. When you get older, you start to train smarter, not harder.
Try to time that right uppercut.
DeAndre Ware is not fighting up to his potential tonight. He needs to take that word that's on the front of his trunks, faith.
Every time you step up in class, Dre, that's just what happens. You got to believe in yourself.
Coming in with a lot of shots, but at the same time, Steve,
we've seen that when you're out there giving instructions. What are your instructions to Steve right now?
Oh, he need to come behind the jab, not coming straight in. More
visions to fight Triple G, then came back down to welterweight and had the fight against Errol Spence. TKO originally took the belt off of Sean Porter. That could be next for the 30 events. Jamel Herring with a title defense, who also trains.
Again, I'm seeing a guy in Ware that has skills, has ability. You can see it. He's falling short. He's falling victim to the self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? So when you train, you must be willing to go to places very few people are willing to go. And Ware said he did that, but he doesn't believe it.
From Nelson. By the way, we mentioned the fact that the clash of heads opened up a cut. You see him pawing above that left eye here, more affected in round 5, and they're going to take, and this is a far worse cut, and it comes from a clash again.
The reason why that happened is both guys, they come in with their head when they're shooting punches to the body. I mean, I'm familiar with head clash. Get your head off the line, then attack the body, either right or left. If you keep your head dead center, headbutts are going to happen.
First time he's been cut in his professional career, but we have discussed this with him before. He was cut once in the amateurs.
Gotta box smart with your hands up, okay? Clean his eye out.
The vision of Steven Nelson. Dre, it was interesting also to hear Brian McIntyre saying, just like you're in the rhythm, just like you're boxing with your eyes closed.
They don't really acknowledge what's going on. They let the cut man do what they have to do. They may briefly acknowledge if you got knocked down and try to stop DeAndre Ware, because Steven Nelson is not just trying to win this fight tonight. He's trying to send a message to the rest of the division that he's championship material.
And just as a reminder, the first clash ahead, the cut to the outside, the more innocuous, that's a good right hand from Nelson, as now he ran. Second clash happened in the 5th round, and of course here we are in round 6. So if this fight is stopped because of those cuts, we will go to the scorecards.
It's exactly the rhythm that get him up out of there.
It's good work from Nelson here in the first half of this 6th round, and there's a left hand that sends him back. Wobbling legs for Ware. Nelson on the attack here in round 6.
And give himself some space and not allow Ware to tie him up and buy time to recover. Get space and land that.
Wobbly legs, circling on the outside, gets sent back. Here comes Steven Nelson. trying to finish things, and that'll do it. TKO victory, Steven Nelson.
You know, there was a huge sense of urgency in Nelson. Maybe the cuts caused him to go to the next level. But beautiful hooks right there. Catching Ware, gave him a little stanky leg. Wobbled those legs. And here's the follow-up shot, the cleanup crew. You know, Nelson tonight, you know, he showed resiliency, even though, you know, Nelson behaved like a fighter tonight. He behaved like a champion tonight. You know, he stayed the course through the fight, listened to his coach, and got a beautiful stoppage.
My plan was to go in there, fill him out, don't rush it too much. So that's why the first couple rounds I was filling it out, wasn't doing too much, and then pick it up. So the headbutt was perfect timing for me to pick it up.
Declaring your winner by technical knockout, and still NABO Super Middleweight Champion, Steven Soko.